Hello everyone, my name is Chappie Livedall. This video is just going to be explaining what I do and what you're going to be seeing in this channel. So let's get right into it. Hey everyone, Chappie Livedall here. Hey guys, what's going on? Chappie Livedall here. Hey guys, what's going on? Chappie Livedall here with another video.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't.
I'm doing a Captain America Shield Evolution Showcase. Today's weapon that I am showcasing is the Commando Rifle. I thought for this showcase I'd show you guys the swords that I have made. This, ladies and gentlemen, at number 1 is Call of Duty World War II. Number 1 is Halo 3. Until next time, I'm Chappie Livedall. I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, what's going on? Chappie Livedall here, and boy is it good to be back with another video. I haven't posted one for almost 3 months. That has been a long time, and I apologize for keeping y'all waiting. Here's basically what's happening. I'm going to tell you what's happening, and then I'm going to go into the showcase. So basically, we went to, I told you in my last video, we were going to Disneyland. We went to Disneyland. And the next week I was gonna make a video. I actually recorded a video of me showcasing all the stuff that I'd gotten from Disneyland, Disney World actually. And I wanted to post it. However, 2 things stopped me. One, I didn't have enough time to edit because I was in the final few months of my 11th grade year of high school. I finished 2 weeks ago, thankfully, straight A's. And also, doing a bit of mental math in my head, the video would have been at least 30 plus minutes long. And as much as I wanted to show you guys what I had, I didn't really feel like making a half-hour long video just of what I had. If it was something like I made, then a 30-minute video would probably be worth it. But since it was stuff that I had, I didn't feel like making one. And I know I made a schedule of what I was gonna make in the future. I'm tweaking it a bit to give myself less stress about it, and especially since I started making other different projects. So let's just say that the videos I promised you, aside from the Disneyland showcase, are gonna go further down the line, and we'll just go with a normal schedule of what I plan on showcasing. Sound good? Sound good. Leave a like on this video. I will say, at Disney World, I was able to make my own lightsaber. And it was so fun. Got yellow because that's my favorite lightsaber color, and also is because this was a belated golden birthday present. We wanted to go last September, which was my golden birthday, turning 17 on September 17th. And it was quite a few months in the making, but I finally got to make it happen. And I do plan on making a remastered lightsaber trick video with the different colors that I have for my lightsaber. But that's for another time. That's not why we're here today. We are here today to showcase probably one of my favorite projects that I made, and it has a very interesting start on why I decided to make it. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the Darksaber from Star Wars. So, a bit of backstory on what the Darksaber is. The Darksaber is a special type of lightsaber used by the first Mandalorian Jedi. It was, when he passed, it was put in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant for safekeeping, but then later stolen by members of the Mandalorian cult Death Watch. And has been held, for a while, was held in the hands of Death Watch leader Pre Vizsla. But then lost it in a duel to Darth Maul. He held on to it until somewhere down the line it was lost. No, sorry. They talked about it in Star Wars Rebels. He kept it in his little lair on Dathomir, but then it was picked up by Sabine Wren, another Mandalorian. She later gave it to Mandalorian Bo-Katan to help rule Mandalore, and somehow, and now I don't actually know, it ended up in the hands of Moff Gideon in The Mandalorian. I hope most of you have seen season 1 by now, because that was a small spoiler. So yeah, this lightsaber definitely has some history. And here's why I wanted to make it. So, I don't know if any of you follow Disneyland's status, but Disneyland recently released the first Legacy Darksaber, which it looks pretty cool. It definitely looked interesting. I don't know for sure whether or not I'll buy it. However, the review video I watched made it so that it had some, I'm gonna set it down, some more than a couple complaints. Like, in comparison, Rey's Legacy lightsaber that they also released recently, it just had a couple of complaints of like not being a little light by the emitter part, and the gear not being the activation switch, which I was also disappointed at. I still think I might get it. The Darksaber had quite a few things that just felt weird. The little belt holder part, the cover tech wheel it's called, kind of stood out. It was silver as opposed to the hilt was kind of like just black. This part was a bit bigger than the hilt. The two of these lights from these vents could show, but not the other ones. And the blade had an enormous amount of white and only a small strip of black. And first of all, in case you're wondering, the video where I got these complaints was a video on the channel Sir James Gamerfusion. I'll have the video linked in the card up here, and I'll have his channel linked down below so you can see more of the review videos that he does. He reviews like all the Disneyland lightsabers. He reviews lightsabers from Saber Forge, Ultra Sabers, many different places. If y'all could check him out, I would appreciate that. I don't know him personally, but I really do like his videos. And if you could go and show him some support, like, subscribe, I would appreciate it, he would appreciate, and it would help his channel grow. After watching that video of the different complaints of the lightsaber, or the Darksaber, I thought to myself, I wonder if I can make one that's fixed those complaints and also looked pretty cool. So, I made it. So I'm gonna do a bit of a close-up for you. The hilt is all silver, and I got that idea from a picture of the Mandalorian the Mandalorian Darksaber electronic toy. Had a bit of a silver hilt, and also like pictures that would kind of show the hilt as gray, and I thought silver looked better for it. So these are the vents I was talking about on the other side here. And then this entire blade is spray painted black. Here's the other side. Here's the other bit of the blade. So, that's what it looks like. And I hope some of y'all are wondering, Chappie, does it turn on and how? As a matter of fact, it does turn on. Has an activation switch. So, I'm going to show you something. If you look very closely here, I'm going to try to show it as best I can. Here, there are these LED lights all around the blade. And they all go to, let me see if I can find one real quick to show you.
A few moments later.
Okay, found one. So these are the LED lights that I used. It was a 12-pack set that I ordered off of Amazon. And Each are about 3 feet long and all connected to this control panel. And there's a switch right on the top. Oh, there's a... Let me, hold on, one sec. No plan survives first contact without the implementation. That's how they say it. I didn't even plan this far. There you go. So, there's a switch on the top. You flick it, you turn it left, goes on. Turn it right, goes off. I'm gonna put this back over here. So, it was a 12-pack that I ordered off of Amazon for about $14. And I used 2 of them to make the light part of the blade. And it was a very tedious process. And I was also worried because I wanted to have the perfect LEDs for it, and I wasn't sure which ones could actually work. But thankfully, I found the right ones. And here's how the activation switch works. First of all, I'm going to show a picture on screen of what the interior of the Darksaber looks like. So the picture that you're looking at was during the construction of the Darksaber, and what you see is you see 2 light activation boxes. One is hot glued on top of another, and there are 2 dowels. Dowels are the stick things that I use. Like I think I talked about them in my Black Ops 3 loadout showcase, where I used a dowel for the trigger and a fuse to support the nozzle. So one dowel, dowel, I forgot the word. One dowel pushes another dowel in, which turns both switches on simultaneously. And then when you're finished, you press the other one back inside to turn them off simultaneously. And now that you've seen that picture, to show you what it looks like up close, here's the switch on top that turns it on. And then here's the switch on the bottom to turn it off. Also, Sir James Gamerfusion, if you're watching this, I solved your little vent problem. Thought you might like that. So, yeah, so definitely very tedious, and I was definitely worried that the lights weren't going to work. They did, thankfully, and so I was able to make one of these. Okay, so I'm going to turn my garage light off, so that way you can see how bright it looks in the darkness. Hold on one second. All right, now it's dark. I'm over here. You can't really see me waving. Here's the Darksaber. It actually really lights up very well. And also, full disclosure, I guess you probably could have guessed this earlier, but there are no electronic sounds involved. If there are ever any in this video or future videos, it is strictly editing. I wasn't sure how to make... I'm not a wires specialist, or a technician, I guess you could say. So I didn't really tackle the problem of making sound effects, because I feel like that would be kind of a long and strenuous problem, or like addition to this, and I didn't really feel like tackling it. I'm not lazy. Like I said, I'm not a wire specialist, so I wasn't sure of how I could do that. The lights were definitely one issue, but the sounds would be another. So there's no sound effects, although it would be cool if there were. So that's the Darksaber. I'm gonna turn the lights back on. Tell you what, the AC feels really good inside when you've been outside for so long. So there are 2 things that I did feel a little bit weird about, or a few things that I felt a little bit weird about in regards to making this Darksaber. First off, the LEDs. While yes, I did get ones that worked perfectly, I did feel a little bit weird about how it's just dots and not a line. My dad and I briefly brainstormed ideas of like kind of having like kind of a kind of paper over it, so that way it would look like it worked. But I didn't go for that one because of two things. One, the paper, even though I probably wouldn't be hitting things because I wouldn't want to damage the LEDs, it would still probably break over time, whether or not I use it, and maybe fall apart. So that's one reason why I didn't go with that. Another reason was because my dad and I actually tried putting some over it, and it looked like it worked. However, each LED could easily be visible. So I don't mind the lights. In fact, like, especially like all together and looking at it on a camera, I think it looks really cool. It just kind of bugs me that it's just, LED like dots instead of a strip. So that's my first thing. Second thing, I know the Darksaber has kind of like white cracks that go across the blade, and I'm pretty sure I can find a picture and put it up there of an example of the Darksaber blade that has those cracks. Now that one I didn't really feel like tackling, but I think it would have looked pretty cool if it had the strips going through the blade to make it look like it had cracks. But I still think it looks cool without it, and I think there are some cases where it kind of has the just plain black feel. Another thing, the activation switch of all things. So it is totally fine. As you can see, it works totally fine, and I love this mechanism. What bugs me a little bit is that the activation switch is just kind of a push button on this one side. You push it in, it activates, you push it in, it deactivates. That's how the Disney World's Legacy Darksaber does it, and I'm pretty sure that's how the Darksaber activates in Star Wars as a whole. I wanted to be able to do something like that. However, again, like the LED lights that I got, they had they had like just switches and not buttons, and the best way that I could get them in was with the switch closest toward here. So you would have to press the button on this side to activate them, and then this button to deactivate them. That bugs me a little bit, but not so much that I'm just like, oh gosh, why do I have to press this button to turn it on? That doesn't matter. The switches do have a few faults. For instance, you could do something like this. Oh wait, I haven't turned on. You could do something like this. Like this. Wow, for once it's actually behaving. Let me just tell you, you could press a button like slightly slanted and turn on one strip of light. And then same thing, if they're both on, you could press the button in wrongly, the deactivation button in wrongly, and then turn off one strip. That is, but if you press it in right, like what I'm doing, it's not too much of a problem. And one of my favorite things about this thing is that this is, I think, the first lightsaber that I've made that doesn't feel flimsy, that I can swing around without fear of breaking it. Because, I mean, like, I made my training saber, and that you've seen in my first lightsaber tricks video, and that was really sturdy because I reused a plastic lightsaber blade. And, but, well, I guess I admit that. That was an example of a pretty sturdy one, even though there wasn't really any cardboard involved. The Ahsoka Tano lightsabers were ones that kind of bugged me. I loved making them because Ahsoka is my role model in Star Wars. And what I wanted to do was just make the lightsabers like one big piece, so that way it wouldn't be too wibbly. But then I had the unfortunate idea of making the hilts separate from the blade and then gluing them in, making them feel a little bit more unstable. And you'll kind of, I think I may say, I can't remember if I said this and addressed this in the video or not, but like I was kind of cautious about waving them around. The smaller one, the green one that I made, that one I was fine with, but the longer one, because it was longer, it felt a little bit weird swinging around. And I also I actually have this that I can show y'all.
12 seconds later.
So I made this version of Luke / Anakin / Rey's lightsaber. And originally what it was 2 separate bits. This was a blade and there was no tape here. And it was connected to the hilt that I made, which was based off of the Lego design for this hilt, which is, I got that idea off of the Lego Star Wars Force Awakens video game. So then I tried to make that. It felt a little bit unstable, not so sturdy, and I'm pretty sure it broke as I tried to swing it around. So then I had the idea of like having the hilt as a display, but then putting tape around the bottom part of this blade and making it look like the hilt. And this one is definitely much more stable. But that's another example of a lightsaber that I made that's just didn't go out. So circling back to the Darksaber, this one is totally sturdy. It isn't kind of flimsy, and I feel very comfortable with swinging this around. Less comfortable with hitting it heavily, but more comfortable with swinging it around. And I know another thing, like the activation switch was for the Darksaber, Legacy Darksaber at Disney World, was kind of like easy to turn on. This one definitely you won't accidentally activate it or deactivate it. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is my Darksaber. So that was the most recent project I made, and I actually painted it earlier today, or the hilt. I had already spray painted the blade a few weeks ago. And yeah, definitely one of my favorite creations that I've made. It was such a fun thing to do, and I'm really glad that I was able to tackle it. One thing that I like about it, and that my mom likes about it, is that it was a project that I wasn't too sure on, but that I was able to figure out what to do, especially with the LED lights. And I'm definitely very happy I was able to do it. So, if you enjoyed this video and you really liked the Darksaber, I hope you did, be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't. We broke 50 subscribers, we're at 51, so thank you to all of you who are subscribed for supporting. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to try to make more videos in this summer because I'm transferring to a new school here in South Carolina, because I'm no longer in the one back in Seattle that I was in. Because I'm transferring to a new one here, I start in August, because schools here in the South start a little bit different than those in the North. So I'm going to try to make as much videos as I can. In fact, I can give you a sneak peek of what a future project will be. I can't guarantee this will be the next one. I can guarantee it's a future one. It's an assault rifle from Call of Duty. And I'm definitely close to finishing it. It's part of like a big project similar to my Black Ops 3 loadout, but I'm going to do like separate videos on it as opposed to just like a big lengthy one. But that's for another time. So again, if you enjoy, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Comment down what project you'd like to see me make next. It could be from anything, from a video game to a movie to a TV show. Whatever you guys think of, put it down in the comments and I will consider it as a later prop. So, and once again, I will keep trying to make videos over the summer. I should have a lot more time, aside from various summer activities, preparing for an ACT and having one of my friends over. But aside from that, I should be able to keep making videos. So, until next time, I'm Chad the Liftoff, and I'll see you guys later.